Hello readers, this is Leah Vanicky. This is Pioneers in Petticoats. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk today character stories, Clive Quackenbush. I know he's your favorite. If you've read the Wildflower Series, everyone agrees Clive Quackenbush is an absolute favorite, fan favorite, and I think he always will be. I love Clive, and I just really want to share with you the origins and how much I love Clive, and I just really hope you join in. Grab a cup of something, coffee, tea, hot cocoa. So come on in, join in, let's talk Clive Quackenbush. Okay, I just gotta tell you, there is a story on why there's a character named Clive. So years and years ago, I started this book, Finding Her Way, but actually it was called Seeing the Elephant. And after I first published it, it was an absolute mess, typos galore. I didn't have the money or the energy or the time to get an editor because I didn't think anyone would buy it. I just thought it would be a friend thing. I was really sick and kind of, you know, borderline deathbed. I didn't know what was wrong with me, and writing was kind of just the chance for me to be in my bed and do something that was useful because I couldn't work and I was just so miserable, but this was a chance for me to do something, and I thought my family and friends would buy it and that would be it. And it turns out that even with all the typos and the problems with the adverbs and it was just a mess, but somehow everybody loved it. And I got so many emails, you know, saying, hey, you know, you should fix all this stuff, but it's a really great story. So I did, and I changed the name. It was also the name of a college textbook. Seeing the Elephant was about Civil War, and people were getting confused. They thought it was the textbook, and so I just changed the name to Finding Her Way. But when I started this, I was 19, and I started on one of those really old Macs. I mean, it was like this big with like a tiny little screen. It was a clunky, fat keyboard, and then I had, you know, 40,000 words of a book that I worked on over the years. So back in the day, when I was just puttering at this, I spent months with my main character, you know, wandering around and deciding whether or not she was gonna go to Oregon or not. And so I switched to a new computer, and it was also a Mac, but you know, some of the software on the old Mac didn't work well with the new Mac. So I basically I transferred it, and then I printed out the whole file just to see if it was working, because on the screen it looked like gobbledygook, but when it printed it all out, it was kind of words and kind of gobbledygook, and it was all mixed up. And my mom asked if she could read it to see if she could figure out, you know, what it was doing. And she was reading through, she's like, oh, this is a great story. And she's like, okay, right here. And she had it circled, and it looked like it had changed all the like apostrophes into something else. And I had used the word live, and it changed the apostrophe into this very weird looking capital C thing. It wasn't a C, but it kind of looked like a C. And she's like, who the heck is Clive? And I was laughing. I'm like, there's nobody named Clive in my book. What is this? And she showed me, she's like, Clive. It says right here, Clive. And I was like, well, I guess I have to write a character named Clive now, because that's hilarious. So I had to retype out the whole thing and sort out the gobbledygook, and you know, it was probably 10 years later before I published, but that's how Clive got started. That's how the name Clive got started. And I just, I love him so much. He's like the grandfather I never had. And I just really love him. And he's kind of like the, you know, wise old trapper, the, you know, pastor, the the dad. You know, he's kind of just all mixed up into one, and I just love him. You know, some of my favorite things are when he just, you know, goes beyond the call of duty and like steps in and, you know, gets things done. You know, one of my favorite things that I ever wrote was the scene where he confronts Milton Vaughn, and, you know, Warren is trying to protect Galena, and Clive is like, you know, hey, young man, you need to, you know, doing a little finger wag. And Milton just really doesn't want anything to do with any of it. And then there's this, instead of like the blow by blow, the punches and the fight, I just really wanted to like go internal. Let's talk this out inside Clive's head. And the scene where he's rolling around on the ground and like, maybe I should have thought of, you know, something else. Oh, it was so much fun to write, and I hope you loved it. There's a couple of scenes that I just adore, you know, that, you know, tug at the heartstrings when, you know, he's out with the boys, teaching them how to hunt and trap, and when he's talking to his girls, you know, I think he's like adopted like every young woman in the valley as his, like, you know, surrogate daughter. It's just so sweet that he cares so much, and you just want somebody in your life that's like that just cares about your journey and your struggles or your successes. You know, he always shows when he's proud of someone. He always shows that, you know, he's praying for them, and I just love that about him. So I just adore Clive. And no matter what my husband said, like I said before, no matter what he says, they're real. He's alive and well in my heart. So I just want to know, what is your favorite thing about Clive? I want you to write down the comments down there and go and comment and tell me, why do you love Clive? And, you know, is there any scenes that you particularly love about him that, you know, where he does something crazy or kooky or funny? And I mean, oh gosh, one of my favorite things he ever did, I think he got punched in the face accidentally. You know, he had just like walked in on a scene, and Lucas and Slava Varushkin were having, you know, a war of words, and I guess Slava just got so mad, and Clive just happened to be in the way, and he took a shiner to the eye, and, you know, he's waking up from his stupor, and, you know, somebody hands him like a raw steak to put on his eye, and he's like, that is not how I like my steak. I don't know where that comes from. Where do those lines? That is not me. I mean, I like to think that I'm funny, but I don't think I'm Clive funny. I think Clive is some kind of like writer magic. You know, God just said, here's Clive, and he just threw it in there, and but I love him. He's comic relief. He's the grandfather that everybody needs, and I wish everybody had one of their very own, because we all need a Clive. So I hope that you love Clive as much as I do. And oh, my dog is coming to visit. Oliver rarely ever comes in my office because I am utterly boring. He's Daddy's dog and Emma's dog, and he tolerates me. So, but yeah, he comes in here, he sniffs around, he's bored because there's nothing to eat in my office. So, all right, it has been a pleasure. Welcome, Pioneers and Petticoats. Next, I'm gonna be talking about historical goodies. I'm either gonna talk about the Oregon Trail, or maybe this week after Thanksgiving, I might film something with my daughter, Emma, and we might give you guys a little historical surprise where we're gonna talk about historical, nerdy stuff, and we're gonna have a blast. So welcome, subscribe, like if you want to keep watching, and I'm going to be talking about other characters. I'm going to be talking about history. I'm just going to share all the goodies with you about being an author nerd, and I hope you like it. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. God bless you, and have a wonderful day.